Oh my god, guys, look. It's the Council of Ricks. Where's Pickle Rick at? Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick. Hey guys, what is going on? It is me, Punkik Yoshi, or Alberto. Welcome back to another video. I feel like every episode Mark is getting pummeled to the ground. Maybe he's just not so invincible, guys. That's where the title came from. So it's been a little over 2 weeks since my last Invincible episode. We left off where Oliver killed the Mahler twins. So for this video, we're going to do a quick recap for what's happened since then we'll talk about the potential future of the last 2 episodes of the season. Can you believe that we only have 2 episodes left? I feel like not much has happened, other than the whole storyline of Mark on Earth, and Omn-Man and Allen, but we'll talk about that. So episode 4, let's start here. Episode 4 starts with this pretty cool mundane situation that Rex and Ray find themselves in. Ray craves for normality in her life, so they go to their local Aldi to pick up some ingredients for a dinner. Only of course this is Invincible, so they are quickly interrupted. Then after assuming that the spy camera from the ending of last episode was Cecil's, Mark commits a terrorism attack and blows right through the Pentagon. Straight up, no chill. He runs that fade with Cecil, but they quickly dismiss his efforts because that camera did not belong to the GDA, but the technology itself is cause for concern. Invincible then rushes to his date in Paris with Adam Eve, but they are interrupted by the 2 goons from episode 1 that stole the Declaration of Independence. It was only a matter of time till they came back, but they tell Mark that they're from the future and that they need his help. He dismisses them, but they literally kidnap him to join in their cause. In an unspecified dated future, but a future where Mark is already dead, they quickly explain what's going on. There's a mad king who has enslaved Earth with robots, and no one has been able to oppose him. Once Invincible reaches the top of the tower, he immediately recognizes the Immortal. Low-key, I don't know how he did that, he looks so different. The Immortal, or as people are calling him now, the Mortal, explains to Mark that he's pretty much grown tired of living and wants him to do the honor of killing him. He also mentions a sickness that spread, Mark ruling presumably the Viltrum Empire or Earth, I'm not sure, and Eve living outside of Earth, which might happen in the coming seasons. I'm not quite caught up with the comics, but these do seem like foreshadowing. After killing the Mortal, he goes back to his date. Eve then consoles him for having to kill an acquaintance, because I'm pretty sure they're not friends, and then they get jiggy. Then we cut to Omni-Man, who is at full health now and is about to get executed. In order to save him, Allen breaks out of his prison cell and frees Battle Beast, who is this massive lion warrior who hungers for powerful fights. They catch up to the execution, and Allen purposefully lets himself get beat up to shreds to appeal to Nolan's empathy and his heroic side. Nolan frees himself from the shackles and starts wailing on the Viltrumites with the help of Allen and Battle Beast. Now, Omni-Man is officially disgraced by the Viltrum Empire and will never be able to go back to their culture. Nolan agrees to help Allen in the pursuit of ending the Viltrumites' influence on the universe. Then the episode ends with Nolan letting out a very important Viltrumite secret, that there are fewer than 50 pure-blooded Viltrumites left in the universe, which is their biggest weakness, and such an issue that they don't want anyone to know that they are slowly going extinct. This gives Allen hope, and if they're able to set up the Avengers, maybe they actually might have a chance against the Viltrumites. Episode 5 I heard a lot of people call a filler episode, and I can see why. This episode is almost entirely focused on Mark's personal life, but I thought it was a sweet little change of pace from the rest of the episodes. It starts with a very disturbing way that Multipol decided to break out of prison. Ew, it gives me shivers. But he fails. Mark and Eve discuss getting their own place to settle down and focus on themselves, but they are flat broke. So Eve comes up with the idea of them selling their superhero selves as retainers for anyone who might need the help. Pretty much roided up security guards. She asks for the prison to be their first clients, but they kinda shrug her off, until they ultimately need her help later in the episode. This is where Master Lu, which is Titan's boss, demands that he breaks Multipol out of prison, and threatens his wife and young daughter. Pissed off, Titan agrees. He meets up with Machine Head to discuss a plan, but he shrugs him off for putting him in the clinker. Titan asks Mark for help, but he refuses to help a mob boss. Left out of options, Master Lu shows up to collect his debt. But when Titan shows up empty-handed, he uses his powers to turn into a dragon. He knocks Titan down and heads over to the prison to break out Multipol himself. Adam, Eve, and Invincible are called into action by the prison. The dragon almost ends up breaking out Paul, but he is stopped by Adam. Paul and Eve fight. She thinks she's won, but Paul had another clone hiding somewhere. Back at the skyscraper, Machine Head shows up to Master Leo's unconscious body. He beats up his bodyguard and shoots Leo in the head, killing him in real life and as a dragon. Then Machine Head takes over the underground mafia just like before, as the head since he killed Liu, and swears to Titan that if he ever crosses him again, he'll kill him and his entire family. Episode 6 is the last one to come out, so let's break it down. In classic Invincible fashion, it starts with the tragedy of a man named Scott, which is voiced by freaking Aaron Paul. I didn't even know that. But Scott lost his sister and niece in the fight that Invincible had with Omni-Man back in season 1. In present day, he has dedicated his whole life to try to kill Invincible, since he's able to get by and live as a hero with no repercussions to his actions. He works on the GTA lab division, where he works on batteries. Secretly though, it's for his own agenda to amplify his powers. Adam, Eve, and Mark spend time teaching Oliver the basics of being a superhero, to ease him into it. Back at home, Scott steals the lab equipment and puts it all over his body. Every time he gets hit with kinetic energy, it surges through his body, making him stronger. His wife eggs him on to avenge his sister. The Grayson family have a big pasta dinner with Paul, who everyone online agrees that he's the GOAT. Then Powerplex makes a move and calls out Invincible on national television, but he gets Shapesmith instead, which pisses him off even more. After failing, he plans his next attack. Then Rudy helps Amanda control her powers with the belt that he's been working on to stop the de-aging that happens every time she turns, and she accepts the gift with gratitude. Ray announces that she's going to leave the team. She asks Rex to join her, but he denies, since his personality and life is imbued with his superhero persona, and he just can't give it up. The Graysons attend the Chicago Memorial. Powerplex shuts it down and calls out Invincible again. Adam Eve steps in to handle it, to not give Powerplex any more power than he needs. She stops him, but he's able to get out by hitting himself on the wall of the van that carries him to prison. Back at his house, his lunatic wife agrees to be a part of the next plan, and he calls out Invincible for the 3rd time, but this time with innocent hostages that no one knows is his own wife and child. Invincible finally shows up and tries to talk to him out of doing anything rash, but his own anger causes him to shoot out a big attack and fries his wife and child. Invincible is able to neutralize him and take him to jail. At jail, he pays him a visit and tries to console Powerplex by saying that he remembers his sister, but that's not enough for Powerplex, and he swears that he's going to get out of prison and kill him. Eve consoles Mark, but in that moment, they are being watched by an alternate Angstrom Levy, who has gathered the Council of Ricks to kill Mark. He's probably going to be the villain of the next coming episodes. What an action-packed episode. Personally, I didn't really like Powerplex. He was super whiny, and his constant persistence made him so annoying. But that's a good thing, cause that means that Aaron Paul did a great job at portraying him. This season is almost over, but I feel like it just started. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. I do think it's been a good season overall, but it feels more episodic rather than serialized, if that makes any sense. But I can't complain, we're getting some pretty cool superhero content here. The characters are all amazing, and their arcs are pretty fire. So we'll just have to see if the last 2 episodes stick the landing. I'll definitely be making at least one more Invincible video, covering those last 2 episodes, and talking about the whole season as a whole. I'm excited for Angstrom Levy to come back though. Invincible needs a big bad right now. But with that, I'm going to end off today's video. What do you guys think? Did you like this middle of the season? What do you guys think of Omni-Man and Allen versus the Viltrumite? Powerplex? Let's talk about this in the comments. If you guys haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. It goes a really long way for a small creator like me. Guys, we just hit 200 subscribers. Virtual pizza for everyone. If you like what you see and want to see more, I have a bunch of videos in my channel that you should check out. But as always, my name has been Punkik Yoshi or Alberto. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye bye.